Okay, so this is the R2D2 kit from Deagostini. There are many interesting things, but uh, there are things which could be improved. So I decided to do some modifications. And therefore, during the build, I've changed a few things and also changed things recently to add a few features or whatever you want to call that. These are what are my modifications. The first thing which I didn't like is this flap. On the original version, to open the flap fully, you have to open this door first. Come on. Then it comes like so. I didn't really enjoy this way of doing, so I changed that by cutting the initial plastic for the hinge and change it and put a system with 2 hinges. So this is quite ugly, but well, it works. So there is room for improvement. But anyway, I've put 2 hinges there. I've used some kind of aluminum foil. Those aluminum foil which you find actually on the wine bottle. The cover which is on top of the cork itself, you know. In many cases it's just made of aluminum, so I used that, cleaned a bit, and that was quite okay because it's not too flexible, so it works. Small magnet, small piece of iron, and then we can close that nicely. So that was the first thing which I changed. The other thing I changed is also happening here. That's about the jack, the barrel jack which you use for the power supply. I found out that having it at the bottom was so-so. I didn't really like that. And I don't remember where, but well, in the movie, we can see that it's charged somewhere at the front. Yeah, I don't remember. Anyway, I thought to myself, why having a flap there, the door opening to nothing? We could use that. Therefore, I've put the jack there. And where is my stuff? What? Yeah. So, oh, yep. Now, if I want to charge the thing, just plug it here, like so, and that's it. And no need to go under trying to find where is it, blah blah blah, and so on. Okay, that was one of the things I changed as well. Poof, close that. Other stuff. The power switch, which is normally well, here on the side. Didn't like that. Of course, yes, it's hidden, that's nice, but well, I don't like someone to touch my butt, so I don't think R2 likes that either. So I decided to put it here. So I've used this kind of switch, which is blending in quite nicely with this iron style stuff. I don't think it's iron, I'm not too sure what it is exactly, but anyway. So yeah, open the door, switch on the thing, and that's much nicer to me than having this here. Right. Still for the outside. The ear, I've changed his arm. Actually, I've done that recently, and I've switch. I had lying around an old pointer with a red, small red laser. Laser, yeah, it's laser. And I thought to myself, yeah, maybe we could use that. therefore, I've modified the arm here. I've used a tube which is coming from a soap dispenser. Remove the original part which was there, and I had to drill in this part to get the thing fitting in. So it's not glued, so we can see the pointer. That was lucky because it was exactly the size. Of course, I had to drill this one to have enough space to put it in. But well, so. And it's connected to the 5 volt, which is used for the PI, which is inside. And we can see it on now. So it's not very bright, simply because the original board was using 6 volt as a supply, and now it's just 5 volts. So, but okay, we can modify that later on if required. Anyway, if I very switch off the light and get this guy over there, can we see it? Even though it's very weak, and I've pushed the stuff. Okay, whatever. Anyway, some other modifications there are in relation to the speaker. The speaker is now here at the front. When I was building this thing, I was wondering, why is the speaker at the back? I mean, well, if you want to have more sound, that would make sense to have it at the front. So, because the frame, the front, the facade, and the back are very similar, that was quite very easy to exchange the speaker with the initial plug which was there. The only thing was about the chassis, which was in the way, so I had to use my Dremel to cut a bit of metal out of it. But then, yeah, the speaker is there, and actually that's a bit too loud. Initially, I wanted to drill holes in the plastic at the back to ensure there is more sound and so on. But finally, having it at the front is more than enough. So that's one of the other things. Then the board, which is coming with this guy, is an orange PI. So I bought one more to be able to play with that. And the orange PI, so it's the 0 plus 2 H3, something like that. So the good thing with this stuff, and which is not used, is that you have actually a UART there. You have a USB here, SD card slot, and USB, again, OTG for this one. And there are additional things like the this one is this which one is this? Forgot. This one is the infrared, and this one is yes, that's the so we have the infrared there. We have the analog video out. So infrared, analog video out, USB, OTG, UART, and micro SD card. And out of that, there are many things which are not used. So I didn't do anything with the infrared. I was wondering if that would not be something to be playing with. There is no option to use this guy with infrared, but well, there are a lot of sensors there which are possible to use for different things, so why not add more when possible? Anyway, yeah, so the SD card slot, not used, and so I bought an extension cable for SD card, and I managed to have the slot extended up to E here. So I had to work on that a bit. Well, I didn't do a very good job, but that's just a start. And anyway, it works. So we can use that to store things or to boot on a different system. Actually, I found out that the system running on it is Android, and this Android is having the application running, which is then the interface with our phone, and that's it. So this app is then speaking over UART to this control board, which is based on STM32. And this board is doing all the job after for the servo control, the motor, and then all the sensors. But it does not seem to be using everything properly. When we do the assembly, you remember we for those who have finished and for those who are doing it right now, we are checking everything step by step with the small test boards. So this is a proximity sensor which is on each shoulder. I don't know for you, but on my R2, I don't think it's working, because when I set up the patrol mode, this guy is going everywhere and then does not even recognize that there is a table foot in front of it, and it does not avoid it. The ultrasonic sensors are doing the job. It's turning around when it's sensing something too close, but the arms, the shoulders, I don't think it's these sensors are used at all. Maybe I have to troubleshoot, but it does not look like it's used. Anyway, the other modification, which was for me a problem, it's about this guy not being able to come over a 5 or 6 millimeter step. We have a kind of step between the living room and the entrance, the main entrance, and it was always stuck. So I decided to try something probably a bit stupid, but I've used some how do you call that? Hot glue. Yeah, hot glue. Okay, so it's very dirty, but I have used some hot glue to cover the actual wheel, and it does seem to bring a bit more grip on the ground. And now I can come over the step. I wanted to change also this stuff here. Now it's quite ugly because I tried also to put some hot glue, but that was not a good idea. Anyway, I could not find something to replace it, so I didn't change it. Well, so the hinges, the jack, the switch, this arm here, the speaker, micro SD card, the wheels there, and some other modifications are happening there at the back. So there is this flap which you have to screw on the guy, but nothing behind it. So I wanted to be able to use it for anything I could imagine of, because I found out that there is the UART available there on the PI. My first idea was to extend the UART to have it available there, and because there is a USB for two of them actually, OTG plus host, I wanted to use that. So small magnet, and poof, we get that open. And what now? I have access to the UART, so I could use any kind of TTL stuff thingy I need to put that in the correct order, of course, otherwise it does not work. And where's my crown? Come on. Check. Huh? And yes, that's how I found out that the guy was running Android. Over the UART, I was able to have a shell and see things. So that was quite funny to discover. But then it's opening possibilities to modify it further. USB. So now we can plug stuff, but I never use it. I've just placed the connector there, and then it's ready for further use, but I didn't do anything with it yet. So, and other modification. There are two more modifications there. When I was working on this guy, working on the PI, working on different things, I had to remove his head many times, and I found that a bit boring. So I wanted to find another way to do things. Therefore, I decided to not screw the back plate of this guy for his body, and instead I did modify the way it's sticking to it by using some small magnets. And normally, I need to come on. Yeah. So it's not perfect because I have a little gap on the side, but anyway. And okay, so there we are. And I broke it. This plastic is crap. Doesn't matter. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't want to screw it, so I need to use some glue. This is a plastic which you can melt. It's not hot glue, actually. It's I'm not too sure what kind of plastic it is. I guess it's kind of PCL plastic. You can melt or soften it with a hot gun at 100 degrees. It's enough, and it's becoming totally transparent. And yeah, you can mold it. So I use that, but I need to fix that now. Anyway, no big deal. Yes, so you can see no more speaker. It's over there. And where was I going there? I forgot what I was going to go in. Yes, I was speaking about this magnet which I use to fix the thing together. So I've put 4 magnets at the front and 4 at the back. So I probably need to add more here to have a better tightening between the two parts, but okay, it's like that. And yeah, another thing which I've done there was to extend the USB OTG. I'm not sure if that was a good idea of where I've put that thing, but if I open, which one is it? Yeah, okay, if I open the flap for the lightsaber, need to, let's remove that. Check. Let's put it on the side. In tune. Yeah, so let's try not to break anything. Yep, so go away and just there. Can't see shit. Sorry for that. Let's move this guy away. Oh, let's see if this. Yeah. Oh, mistake. Right. And now, I do have access. Give me a USB somewhere. Yeah. I do have access to the OTG if needed. Like so. Not so easy. Not so easy. So that was probably not a good idea to put this thing here. But and I'm even not knowing what direction I'm using. Yeah. Right. So we have it. So yeah, the other problem is that it's the lightsaber is in the way if you open it. But I don't really enjoy having this lightsaber here. I would have preferred actually to have a small extended arm with this small dish for the radar stuff eventually. So I don't know if I'm going to modify that or not. Plus most of the time the saber is just hidden inside. So, yeah, it's a nice feature, of course, but yes. I know. Yeah, right. You're right. Don't. And yep, that's it. So, and I will try to show you after some nice thing with the shell, because I found some commands to be able to to be able to control it differently. I didn't find everything, I don't think so, but reversing this stuff it's taking some time, and I'm not very good at doing that anyway. So yeah, and is it? Okay. And that's it.